Okay, let's have a look at how the Guardian's covered this first off. Very much a kind of humanistic approach to it, very much looking at the victims as individuals rather than the policy issues. Let me just read you the opening paragraph in the front page of today's Guardian. The man walking along Old Felixstowe Road near the village of Levington could not be sure at first. In the failing light he stepped off the road and approached the darkened form. Only then was he sure. She was naked, lying in the wet scrubland where she had been dumped. It was 3:05 p.m. I mean, it reads very much like a novel in some ways. That's absolutely mean it. The whole thing's nicely written, but as I said, very much humanistic. We then have to leap to page 4, where we need to get a bit more information, interviews with some of the other working girls in the area who talked about problems in the past. And there's a small column that's dedicated to the kind of sort of safety issues and policy issues. So if I look at that, in the position of newspaper reviews, I'd say what camera we're on. We're looking at a little bit of information that's kind of policy orientated. But a lot of this is, really interesting information. But looking at them very much as people with some kind of background layering over it. Okay, The Independent has got one of its really fantastic covers again. It certainly stood out when I went to the newsagents to pull some papers out for this. They're striking uses of images as they often do. Lots and lots of coverage in here. We're looking at about the first probably 6 or 7 pages of coverage in this. Interestingly, a different approach to the Guardian. Rather than this kind of very personal, humanistic approach, they've got a really good article on page 3, which has got Deborah Orr, and she's kind of looking at the social policy aspect, the kind of societal issues about what is still driving women into prostitution. She also pulls up some interesting points that apparently there's a lot of media attention on one of the victims, Gemma Adams, because she was from what was labelled a middle class background, got him in the wrong crowd, developed a heroin addict, lost a job, fell into prostitution, and of course it doesn't fit with the popular image of working class girls who become prostitutes. So lots of really good questions here, and looking at policy issues, would setting up red light districts, etc., help things. Plenty of humanistic stuff as well on the other pages, so there we go. If I were a student today and I were interested in this topic area, which paper would I buy? If I could only buy the Guardian or the Independent, it would be the Independent. More coverage and a lot of social policy, social observation stuff from Deborah Orr's article. Definitely recommend it. One slight black point for the Independent. Fantastic coverage there, but it's a shame that on page 16 they have an article, a kind of throw article, about somebody who has won Peter Stringfellow's nightclub for the evening. And here we have a picture of Peter and his hostesses. And I just thought, come on, look at what's going on here. Resist this thing. I'm not saying anything about these particular individuals, but it's well known that there are issues around club hostesses. And we're looking at the serial killer here, murdering prostitutes, and all the issues, social issues that's run up. Independent, just should have resisted it, just for that once maybe. Okay.